So you ever listen to a song and think, this song's fine and all, but it could really use some more jazz harmony. This song's fine and all, but it could really use some more jazz and all harmony. Don't worry, we have all been in there. So in this video, we're going to be counting down the 7 levels of jazz harmony, starting from the most basic going to the most extreme. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to reharmonize a simple pop melody. Lizzo's in D minor bass beams. This is what the original sounds like. It sounds pretty good to me, but even with that nice E flat over F in the second measure, that's not really jazz. This is what the jazz version would sound like. This is jazz harmony level bell pepper. Jazz harmony level bell pepper. Bell pepper. So this is a fairly typical jazz chord progression. We're not using the basic triads anymore, but we're using richer 4-note 7th chords, like the first chord, a D minor 7. The next chords, C and F7, aren't in the key of D minor, they are tonic. But that's okay, because they are the 2nd chord and 5th chord of the key of B flat, and they resolve to a B flat 6th chord. These five progressions are really the meat and potatoes of jazz harmony. They're a vehicle for tension and release and create a sense of forward momentum that gets us from one chord to the next. This sequence is rounded out by an E minor 7, flat 5, flat 8, flat 6, flat adds, and an 7, the 2 and 5 chords of the parent key of D minor. If we take a look at how the roots in this progression move on the circle of fifths, we see that, even if we skip around a little bit, things generally cycle stepwise to the left. This is fairly typical of the patterns that are found in jazz harmony. Okay, so now that we have the basics covered, how do we get to level 2? Jazz harmony level 2, poblano pepper. Okay, so now we have a little bit more color, and the way that we got that was through tritone, where we take a dominant 7th chord and replace it with another dominant 7th chord, and the tritone sub ends up having 2 of the same notes of the chord that it's substituting for. The important 3rd and 7th degrees of the chord, which happen to form a tritone. These chords add a fair amount of tension because they're generally diatonic, they are in the key, like for example this B7 chord. These chords release that tension by resolving down by a half step to a chord that is from the key, like this B6 chord. A rich vocabulary of 7th chords that create the sense of tension. And there we go. Just intonated chords over dillabeats gets us the 7th level of jazz harmony. If you enjoyed this video, check out my Patreon, because it's my Patreon that make these videos my Patreon. Thank you so much for watching.